Welcome to ZipRecruiter Training. I'm your host, Lindsay Sebastian. So, ZipRecruiter Dashboard. Here you can use this section for a launching off. So it has several areas that you can navigate to. Post a job, and underneath it, it tells you the number of open job slots that there are. Candidates, and it shows you the number of new candidates that you have. Jobs, which shows you the active jobs that are posted. Resume database. Underneath that, it tells you how many resumes are in the database. The message section, which lets you converse directly with your applicants. And hiring companies. This section basically shows you what company you're posting jobs under in ZipRecruiter. So you can also navigate to different areas using this sidebar. So for the very first thing we're going to go over is posting a job. Posting a job needs to happen whenever you have an opening for a client. Immediately come to ZipRecruiter, post a job. It also needs to happen whenever a client says they might have an opening. I'd go ahead and start recruiting for that. Also, if you have a generic job like general laborer or forklift operator that you know you're always going to need, go ahead and post a job. Keep your pipeline going, be proactive. That's the best advice that I can give you, because you never want to be caught in a situation where a client requests a certain applicant with certain skills and you don't have it ready for them. So, posting a job. Here in this section, you can create a new job or duplicate a previous job. For this training purpose, we're going to go ahead and create a new job, but any time that you post a position, you can go back and duplicate it. For example, the forklift operator position, let's say you had posted it 2 months ago, filled the job, closed it out. Well, now the client is coming back and saying they need another forklift operator. So you can come here, duplicate that previous job, and bam, it's done, quick and easy. So creating a new job, you're going to first select the hiring urgency. I would say 99% of the time, you're going to go with normal. The other times, the high urgency and the ASAP, it's going to require a higher level clearance to set that up. So go with normal. Job title, forklift operator. I always go with the simpler, the better, to get the best out of your posting. But you can also add on there warehouse worker. The job title really will pull a person in to apply for it. So you want to make it as simple and easy as possible. Job location. This is going to be a generic location that you are recruiting from. So I'm going to go with the Spartanburg area. And employment type, you can choose from full-time, part-time, contractor, temporary, or other. Most of the time, you're going to be choosing full-time, unless the client has specified that it is a part-time position. And underneath the job description, here's where you can either use a template or you can enter the job description yourself. For this, we're going to go ahead and preview the template here. And what you're going to be looking for is the responsibilities. Do those match up with what your client is looking for? The qualifications, do those match up with what they're looking for as well? If they do, I say go ahead and use the template. But if they don't match, you can always say yes to the template and take some things out and enter other things. Or you can just say absolutely no thanks and then just enter it all in yourself. If you have a job description from the client, this is a perfect area to put it in. So for this training, We're just going to go with the template here. Perfect. Also, what you would want to do with the job description is add in the hours if there's a flexible schedule or any kind of nuances to the job itself. Be sure to put that in the job description. That will help people when they're making their decision whether to apply or not. Now, under the benefits section, most of the time, you are going to choose none of these unless your client has a specified plan with OpSource. And you should know that based on your clients. Compensation range. So we're going to go with $12 to $15. Oh, okay, so here it's highlighted in red. And it says, please check the minimum compensation field to ensure there are no errors. What you want to do is double check that it's in dollars, and then also the interval of compensation. So instead of annually, we're going to go with hourly. Street address. This is where you would want to put in your branch's address. And under skills, it already takes what you have in your job description and pulls certain skills and puts it in here. But you can also add more, such as warehouse forklift, cycle counting, things of that nature. And this will also help when people are searching for certain keywords. This will target your job if you have these skills listed. And then normally these next sections are going to be pre-populated. So hiring company is always going to be OpSource staffing, and then pre-populated, why work at this company? We connect lives for the better. And then our company description. So next, here at the bottom, send candidates to. And this will always default to checking you under your account. But if you want your recruiting assistant to receive candidates, you can also check them, also your account manager. And this is really up to you as to who you want to see these postings and see the candidates that come to these postings. During this time period, COVID-19, there are job enhancements, and the free one right now is actively hiring during COVID-19. So this one is already checked first for you. Anything else you'll need to have permission for. Then at the very bottom, you can choose only show me candidates within 100 miles of this job's location. And you can also choose to check accept applications without a resume or profile. This will be very generic, basically just contact information from that person. So I would always say, don't check that box because you at least want to get some kind of work history, hopefully a resume from people who are applying for your jobs. So we save and post now. And then ZipRecruiter does its work. And then you will get an email letting you know that the job has been posted. So the next step after you've posted a job is probably just as important as posting the job, because after you post a position, you have to work the position. It's not just sit back and let people apply. You have to work it as well. So here we have the invite to apply section. And you'll need to go through these list of matches. So here we have Shawnee W., sales representative, host, Doesn't say anything about forklift. Let's dismiss. DeMarcus M. He's a forklift driver, material handler. Okay, we will invite him. Sierra B, she lives in Boiling Springs, material handler, forklift driver, dock worker. Let's invite him. Dontavius, he lives in Duncan, forklift at Senator, forklift at Syncreon. Okay, and so forth and so forth. So then when you're finished, you can click I'm done, and it will take you to the next section where you can add screening questions. You don't have to add screening questions, but if there's anything specific, like are you available to work a flexible schedule, or can you work on the weekends if required to, you might want to put those questions in there. Now, these screening questions, they will be asked as the applicant is applying for the position. So then you'll also have access to the answers that they give you for the screening questions. You can make them yes or no, or you can make them free response answers. And then you can also preview the job. And just make sure that everything is in line with what you're looking for. And we are good to go. You can also copy the link as well, send it to other candidates that you know of, or post it on Facebook too. So after you've posted the job, what we want to do is to look at our candidates. Now, because I've posted this job just recently, I don't have any candidates yet. But just to give you an idea, this is the section for all the candidates. And then if you want to filter by job, you can do so using this. Now for my position, I'm a branch manager, so I'm able to see everyone's posting within the company. Depending on your job title, it's going to limit your candidates that you can see and also the jobs that you can see. If you're account manager, you can see all the jobs that you've posted and also the jobs that people have tagged you to receive candidates for. Same thing with the recruiting assistant as well. Here you can also do just a quick rate as well. And also if you hover over the person's name, you can see just a brief outline of their resume or their job profile, as well as their contact information and the skills that they have. You can also send a message to them as well. Also, you can see next to the name, it says new with an exclamation mark. And down here, it tells you that they've applied today. You can export these too. And it also tags certain applications that are incomplete or if they're a great match based upon what you put in the job description. It will tell you if the person has applied for multiple jobs and what jobs that they have applied for previously. Here, if it's showing in purple, that means that it has been looked at. And there's also another tag that it has at the bottom of it if it's been reviewed by someone else, just stating reviewed. So under the jobs section, we can see all jobs, active jobs, draft jobs, closed jobs, archived jobs, the job performance report. So active jobs will show you all the job postings that are currently active. It'll tell you how long that posting has been active, how many visitors it's had, and how many candidates that there are. Visitors and candidates are different because people can visit your page but not apply. There's also an area too under the candidates. That's the hidden area. And I would say typically would want to check this section too on any job posting that you have, because sometimes some people that are qualified will end up in the hidden category based upon what you've entered as criteria in your job posting. So always be checking this and making sure that someone hasn't accidentally fallen in there. The hidden section is where if the computer sees a person that it deems did not match your job description, what your job posting is looking for, it will automatically place people in the hidden area just to keep your candidate pool clean and everything simple and efficient. As I said before, draft jobs is another section. So this is where if you didn't quite finish a job or finished it, but you didn't post it, this is where all of those jobs stay. And then you can always come back here, take a look through what has been placed as draft and choose to post it, or you can choose to manage it by editing it, adding screening questions, previewing it, duplicating it, or you can choose to just permanently delete it. Closed jobs will show you all of the jobs that you have closed. It will also show you how many days that you had that job posted, how many visitors you had, and candidates. So here, even though you close a job, you can still access the resumes from candidates for that job. Archive jobs. When you close a job, it'll ask you if you also want to archive it. I generally always choose yes, because I never know when I'm going to need it again. And then your job performance report. So this will show you all the jobs that you have posted. It will give you the status of those jobs and who it was created by. Now, as I've said before, determined by your job title, you're going to either see everybody that has posted a job or just yourself. The hiring company, the first posted on, you'll see the total visitors for each individual posting, plus total visitors at the top, total candidates, apply clicks, and the conversion percentage. The conversion percentage is very important because it takes how many visitors you had for your job posting, and then when those visitors get converted into candidates, and then it gives you a percentage. I would say anything below a 50%, you need to visit that posting and the wording in that posting, revisit it, rework it to bring that percentage up. Maybe something is unclear. Maybe there are too many specifics involved in that posting. Maybe it's too long. Just always go back, look over your posting, tweak it, edit it, repost it, and work on that. Now, day posted is very important. You need to make sure that your job postings are no longer than 14 days old. Why? Because fresh job postings get fresh applicants. That's the nature of it. So if you have something that is over 14 days old, your applicants are going to be very slim as it gets past the 14 days. And it could possibly be the same people applying to it. Also, think of yourself in the applicant shoes. If you're looking for a job position and you see a job that's been up for 14 days, because they always tell you how long those postings have been up, you would assume that it's already been filled by that time, right? You're not going to apply to it. Hence, 14 days is cut off. I really would be reluctant to let it get any farther than 10 days, but 14 days is the cutoff. You need to close it out if you've got it filled. You need to repost it if you still need some more people, but always, always be managing your job postings. Always, always be working your job postings. Be working your recruiting. Okay, so messages. This is just quick and simple. Whenever you pull up a candidate's resume or their profile, you can always choose to message them. In this section, it shows you all the messages that you've sent and received. And it also will give you a timestamp of when they were read and the date that it was read too. So it's very convenient. If you're having trouble reaching a person by the phone number that's listed on their profile, and you send out an email, but let's be honest, some people only keep their emails for junk emails, then I would go to messages and just make sure to cover all of your bases, trying to get in touch with a person, message them. Now, on to the final piece, our resume database. So, as I said before, you want to be working your job postings, right? So you can use the invite to apply as a way to work it. Also, use the resume database. It's here. We get 100 views a month. Right now, we're at 41 remaining views. We still have a lot of people to look at. You never want to let this go to waste. And we're also on May 26th, so we need to be looking at these people in the resume database. You can choose to search by your active job that you have, or you can choose keywords. For our position, let's go with forklift. And then also, if you're familiar with Boolean search, you can use or reach. Okay, so here we have Adrian G, who has reach truck. Here we have Roy, who has reach. Wait a minute, Roy's in California. Okay, let's go to location. Spartanburg. And then 30 miles is typically where you want to go. You don't want to go any more than that because people are very reluctant to drive much more than that. And then also, your first person that we have on here is Sakia, but she was active like almost 3 years ago. No. Next, we need to come to freshness. Fresh posts get fresh applicants. You need to make sure that your search is also fresh. So 1 year ago, let's go 90 days. Typically, you want to stay around 30 to 90 days. 90 days will give you a lot more choices. 30 days, obviously, will give you a bit less. But at least you know that these people have been active within the last 30 days. You can also narrow your searches down by minimum education if your client requires a high school diploma or GED. Also save your searches and choose for ZipRecruiter to email you whenever new resumes are added to that certain search. Now, you can see your saved searches, which I have none of. You can also see your viewed resumes, which I have several. And you can manage your views. But this one is just for our director of operations. Also, The very last piece that I do want to go over is closing a job. So, for the forklift operator that we posted, I know it was short-lived. However, we will need to close him out. So, we need to choose close job, and then it prompts you to answer why. Why would you like to close it? If the candidates weren't qualified, choose that. If you didn't get enough candidates, choose that. Normally, if I'm closing just to repost, and I always choose to archive it. Close job. And voila, it is closed. That takes us through the basics of ZipRecruiter. Remember, you want to be proactive with your recruiting. You want to work your job postings. You want to make sure that you contact any applicants within the first 48 hours of their application. Because after that, studies have shown that they've moved on and you lost them. So let's not lose applicants. Let's always be proactive, constantly recruiting, because we're outsourced staffing. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've learned a lot. See you again next time.